Hey, this is Bryan Leonard of WagerTalk. We're going to talk a little bit general sports betting on today's show. We're going to tell you something that maybe a lot of people don't tell you, and that's sports betting is hard. It is. Don't believe any of those commercials you see where the guys are playing a 10-team, 15-team parlay. I don't know anybody who bets for a living that does that kind of thing, but if that's what you want to do, you want to have fun, go for it. But it's not as easy as what a lot of people think. So hopefully I could give you some pointers here and we can make you a better. First of all, what I want to do is talk about sports betting overall. We all know there's a hold involved when you're playing the slot machines, you're doing anything else in the casino. A lot of people just think if you know your sports, you're going to make money. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. You may know your certain team, and that's great. And it's hats off to you, you know all about your team. But honestly, how often do you win when you're betting that team? You go into any sports book, you talk to anybody in the bar, everybody thinks they're a winner. I've done many shows over the course of my 45 years in the industry. We're talking TV shows, we're talking movies. Everybody, when they talk to the general public, they all say, oh, I'm a big winner. I win 70% of the time. I do this, I do that. No, you don't. You may have a week or something that you do that well, but no, that's not how it works out. It's a grind, I'll be honest with you. So you're just getting into it, and if you don't have time to do all the work for it, just play for fun. There's nothing wrong with playing for fun. If you want to play that 12-team parlay, you do that. But if you're in it to make money, and to me, if you're going to put in the time, you want to make, you want to make money. You want to do the best you can. It's anything in life. You can cruise through life and get away with things and just cruise on by. But if you really want to better yourself, you want to do the best that you can. And that's why I'm here and a lot of our handicappers. We do work for a company that sells picks and WagerTalk, but we just want you to win. Whether you buy them or not, whether you learn something from us, that's what we want to do. But I do want to say, if you're betting sports, I'm assuming at this point, you know what a line is, you know what a money line is, all those things like that. You know what a favorite, underdog, all that is. So if you don't, there's plenty of other videos out there that we have that can teach you that kind of thing. But if you want to treat it like a business and you want to make money in it, you've got to do it just like you would anything else. If you're driving down the street and you see a coffee shop on the left-hand side, coffee shop on the right-hand side, same company, one is charging $1 more for the coffee, why would you go there? You go to the other one. And that's the whole point about sports betting. You're trying to get the best deal possible. They call it EV. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for EV, which is expected value. And if you have expected value in the long run, you can make some money, and you could do this for a long time. Like I said, I'm originally from Cleveland. I've been doing this for 45 years, and I learn something new each and every day. All right, first thing you want to do, you don't want to be a follower. You want to be ahead of the crowd. If there's a game you want to bet and you wait around on it, chances are everybody else that knows what they're doing is going to be on that same side. So if you're going to play any betting, do it early. Like for football season, those lines come out Sunday night, Monday morning. You've got plenty of time to get on those teams. Do your research, get them now, because by the end of the week, you may be laying 17 on a game you could have had at 14. That's a no-no. You want to get the best line possible. Also, while you're doing this, you want to be able to know, especially for football, what key numbers are, that kind of thing. Certain teams or certain games end up 3-2. It's a little bit different now that you got the 2-point conversions, but you want to know what the value of each point is. So what we're going to do is try to look for your best value out there, and it's not just playing the line. Is the money line the better value? So you want to know what like a -6 is against -6 and -110 is against a money line in that regard. So they have what they call no vig lines. There's a lot of places out there on the internet. We've got a great spot on WagerTalk, OddsLogic, our line service. It's a terrific line service. You can pay for it or you can get it for free, but you need to have that. And when you're doing that, you want to take a look at what the smart books are. The places that take a big bet are the ones that are going to move the lines. Unfortunately, in this country right now, in the USA, a lot of the sports books in the smaller states that don't have all the sports books like we're talking here in the Westgate and Las Vegas, they're really cheap. If you've got a brain at all, they're going to cut you off. which means they're either going to cut you off, you're not going to be able to bet, or you'll be able to bet a lot less. So you want to be able to shop for lines and go to legitimate places that could give you as much to bet as you want to bet. Also, when you're looking at in sports betting, you want to look at totals. You need to know what the key numbers are in totals. Football, 3 and 7. Anything that comes with adding 3s and 7s, you're going to have those will be more of the key numbers. And anytime when you're looking at a line, the lower the total on the game, the more value that total has. So the more value that line in the game has. So if you've got a line in the NFL, it's 7, and the total is 54, that number 7 does not mean nearly as much for the underdog as it does if the line is 34. If it's going to be 34, that means that the favorite in the game isn't going to score nearly as many points. And if you've got the underdog catching those 7 points, that means much more than it does in other instances. So keep that in mind. These are all things that you're going to learn as you go on. But main things are treat it as a business, and numbers are more important than teams. I don't know a single sports bettor out there that makes a living betting on sports that is betting on teams. I hear it in the sports book all the time. I love the Eagles today. Okay, well, why do you like the Eagles? Oh, and they give all the reasons why, legitimate reasons why, but they don't tell you what the line is. I may love the Eagles at -5.5 on a game, but if the line's 7.5, I don't want any part of them, because 6 and 7 are two of the key numbers in the NFL. And the reason why I'm talking about the NFL is football season's on the way. A lot of people will be betting football for the first time, or they'll be trying to increase their percentages while betting football. Those are things you need to talk about. Also, don't be afraid to bet underdogs. Everybody I know that makes money bets unders and underdogs. Not necessarily all the time, but if you look at your portfolio at the end of the week and at the end of the year, if you've got a lot more favorites bet and a lot more overs bet, it's really hard to do it. And the reason why is because everybody likes to see action. They want to bet on the best team. They want to get a game with a lot of scoring. It's exciting. It's fun. But if you're betting, you don't want fun. You want to win the game. I don't watch a game for the enjoyment of watching the game. I watch the game because I want to make money. And most of the guys in this industry that have done it for 20 years or more, that's the way they look at these things. So something to keep in mind, that you're probably getting the worst of the number when you're betting favorites, and especially when you're playing overs, and especially on nationally televised games or games involving maybe top 20 teams in college or college football or college basketball. Everybody knows the Clemsons that used to be the Clemsons in college football. Not so much lately, but everybody knows the Alabamas. They know the Ohio States. They know all those teams. So you're always going to pay a little bit more for those teams, which brings me back to the betting early. If you like one of those teams, you like the USCs, you like Michigan, bet it Sunday night, Monday morning, because chances are that line's going to go up and you're going to get a lot better number. And at the end of the week, hey, you don't like it? You can lay 11 at Michigan, take back 14 on who they're playing, set yourself up for a nice middle. It's a great way to make money, and that's another way to make money in sports betting, is looking to scalp. So those are other things that we can use here. But basically what we want to do is, when you're betting on sports, you want to get the best of the number. You want to get the best of it. When you're playing slot machines, you want to play a slot machine that gives you a better payback, just like sports betting. If you were to flip a coin 100 times, you're going to go 50-50. If it's an unweighted coin, 50-50. Pay attention to streaks. If you do that and it's a 50-50 thing, you've done it 100 times, and at the end it should come out closer to 50%, but you may start off with 5, 6, 7 heads in a row. Does that mean the next head is going to have a better chance of being a head than a tail? No, it's sort of like playing the roulette table. Just because you got 5 reds in a row does not mean the black is due, anything like that. So something to keep in mind. This is all about numbers, and enjoy yourself when you're betting sports. But if you want to do it for a living, you've got to know what these numbers are and how important that is. Like I said, I've been doing it for 45 years. We've got a lot of older guys on WagerTalk that have done it just as long as I have, or pretty close, and they'll all tell you the same thing. You want to be betting numbers instead of teams. If you want to bet your teams, that's fine. But if you're doing it for a living, you want to bet for money, big money, you're going to have to decide, am I doing this for fun or if I'm doing this to make an income? And hey, it takes a lot of time. This is my job. I spend pretty much all day long either reading or watching videos or watching games. So it's a lot of work goes into it. And I'm from Cleveland, and I probably bet against my Cleveland teams more often than I bet on them. So you can't have a lot of favoritism in this if you're doing it for a living. If you want to be a fan, fine. Nothing wrong with that. That way you won't get hurt too much. Just don't bet too much in that regard. But our site on WagerTalk, we try to help, even though, like I said, we sell picks. We'd like you to purchase our plays. But if that's not you, fine. If you don't want to do that, just try to learn how to make yourself a better. That's what we do here, and we'll be doing more videos like this overall, so we'll continue to look at things like that. But if you're looking at baseball, for example, I'm number one at WagerTalk over the last decade in baseball and hockey. The reason being, they're money line sports. I love betting money lines because I make my prediction on how often this team is going to win the game. If I'm getting more than that from the sports book, I'm able to play that. If there's a game you think, the team that's the favorite in the game with the star pitcher is a $2.50 favorite, a $3 favorite, if they got to win $3 favorite, they got to win 3 out of 4 games in order to break even. That doesn't happen very often. We see it all the time, especially with a team like the Dodgers. The Dodgers are a team that doesn't care about the regular season. All they care about is the playoffs. So if you're laying 350 or whatever with their better pitchers, that's something. It may be fun to do because you think you're going to win, but you have to learn there's value on playing underdogs. Same with hockey. Look for teams in the second of a back-to-back game that's an underdog, or a favorite against a team that's fully rested that may be off of a loss. Put yourself in the position of the players. Take a look at me. I'm not a professional sports guy, but I have played sports in my life. I know how it is. Certain teams you get up for, certain times you get upset that you lose the game before that. So keep that in mind. Put yourself in the position of the players. Which games are you going to get up for as the next week goes on? Which team maybe you will overlook? We see a lot of that. We call it look-aheads and flat spots, and Marco D'Angelo calls them sandwich games. Those are other things you can add on to the way you handicap. But as long as you know the value of every point and how that goes, you'll set yourself up really well, because a lot of people just don't care. They don't want to bet on their team, and that's all that matters. So what you want to look for is the best value out there. Like I said, if you're driving down the street for gas and over here it's 3 cents cheaper than it is over here, it may not mean a lot to you, but you got a 20-gallon tank at 60 cents. You do that every week, at the end of the year, that's $300. Hey, you want to make money? You wouldn't go into the store and buy a loaf of bread that's $5 if you can get one very similar for $2, $3. So it's common sense. We've all been through it, especially when you're a little kid. You got an allowance. You only have so much money. That's the smartest thing you could do, is to give your kid a little bit of an allowance and see what he does with his money. That's what we are. We're just grown kids. We're sports fans. So that's what we're looking for when we're looking to bet. We're going to go through a lot more videos if you join us. There's a lot of them up there already, but we've got more coming this year, and we'll do it for each individual sport, and we'll continue on with that. So best of luck to everyone, and we'll be back, and we'll do a little bit more for you and talk about some other things right now. But just keep in mind, you're either doing it for fun or you're doing it to make money, and everybody wants to make money. Good luck to everyone.